I'm Raniel,
I'm Duran.
and today we have another episode of the super vulnerable Node.js application where we're talking about server-side JavaScript injection. Now, Duran, I got a little question for you. Why did they call this server-side JavaScript injection instead of just calling it code injection?
Because someone wanted their name on it.
I wonder who it was. It seems commonly that a lot of people do that. And
Oh, yeah.
we need to stop that shit as well. Like, stop rechanging and renaming things to make you famous. Put it that way. If they're even getting famous off.
Yeah. Yeah. Like our previous discussion where we talked about going through and getting blind regular expression injection. And I'm like, why? Why are you tying this? Why are you putting this out there? Anyone who knew anything understood that you could do this and you can do so much more. So why are you doing this?
Yeah, I don't know. I just this kind of was mind boggling me. I was like, this is just another code injection. But obviously, since it's Node.js, it's written in JavaScript, of course, and the server side is pretty much written in JavaScript. So they decided to call it server side JavaScript injection. But anyway, I'm gonna just go on with the code. We call or require our normal thing, HTTP, Express, and our path. So we're actually gonna call the path. Now we're gonna join those paths so we can actually call them. And when we call our HTML script, we're gonna make app a constant for Express, and then I'm gonna call app.use, and I'm gonna actually call my CSS, and then use Express static, which is going to allow me to take the path.join and join that path together. When I actually call this pretty HTML page, going to call this as well. And you'll see it'll get called and used on the page. So instead of actually trying to do what I did last time, clobber it all together, I'm actually doing it the right way. And another way would be done is also routing these things as well. But here I just kind of just did it a little simpler. That way I don't have to do it router and separate it for this demonstration. So I'm also calling my my Bootstrap JS path as well, and then jQuery as well, because we're going to need all that to make this beautiful page you guys see in the background. Then we go to app.get, which is going to be a GET request. It's going to function is going to request and response. And then here I actually call for the response in.file, I'm actually calling this path, which is our index sssji.html file. And then I actually set my variable data, which is basically going to call the request parameter data. And then I call variable b, which can go back into our argument to round about the variable names actually making sense. But here I got variable b, which is going to equal eval data, which there's no validation. And can you explain, Duran, why it's bad to use eval?
Eval is basically taking a string and turning it into JavaScript and then executing it. It allows someone to input any JavaScript code that is then immediately executed on behalf of this script. So this is code injection.
Yep. And its younger brother is, or it could be its older brother, younger brother, who knows, whatever comes first, is also function, and function allows you to do eval statements as well. So it is best to remove those and not use them at all.
So does backtick.
Oh yeah, that one too. So you got three things.
And you have backtick $, curly bracket, stuff.
You got four
curly
things.
bracket.
You got a whole bunch of things.
Yes. Well, they want to make sure that they have a million different ways that you can really hose yourself. That way, when you hang yourself with it, they can say, well, we told you not to use it, but we gave it to you anyway.
Why did they even do it? Because they use the same expressions in PHP. So this is just as worse.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, so it's bad to use eval and all of those things that we just talked about. Do not use in your code. Web developers have seen it used a lot. I don't understand why they continue to use eval, but it's not a great thing. We're logging this data just for debug purposes and the console. And then here we have app.listen, which I'm listening on port 8082. So we come here, we see that there is no parameter. So obviously by reading the code, we know this is a parameter, so hidden. So let's just put anything in there. And wow, again, as you can see from the code, there was no try catch statement. So we didn't really obviously care about the error messaging or error handling there. So there was error. Good practice, by the way. And as we can see, we get more information about the server. So there we know that it's using Express.js. So we know it's using Node, of course. So still can give a lot of information to the attacker on what framework you're using or what the backend formulate an attack. So let's see what else we can do. So we're gonna, since it's a code injection example and it already actually puts up everything for me, we're going to do response .in because we want to get that response. So end of the response. Again, we're going to call require. So obviously we want to be able to interact with the file system. Response.in require. We're going to read their sync. As last time we did X sync, which is execute sync, and this is read directory sync. This shows us our directory, the current working directory that we're in, which is, of course, the RDPS super vulnerable NodeJS application. So let's see if we can, with this one.
For anyone who needs a really quick explanation, and if you saw it in the last video, we explained it a little bit there. What he's doing is he's importing the library FS. When he imports the library FS, which is really more of like a file, it will export out an object. That object happens to have a method, in this case that's read_dir_sync. And sync, of course, for you have asynchronous and synchronous. So this makes it wait, because if he did asynchronous, the page would actually return before the results are returned. But doing synchronous, now he can wait, and then he translates that into a string. So just at this point, he has access to that library, the FS library, and all the calls that it makes, that he can make therein. Whereas before, last time, he was executing a new process, and that new process then he was running dir. This time he's using a library that happens to provide the same general functionality, not the same exact results.
Let's see if this time, last time we actually couldn't go back, but let's see if we can. All right, we can. And let's see if we can continue. Looks pretty familiar, right?
Yeah.
Path traversal. Oh, it's pretty. Got a lot of good stuff here. Pretty much here, as you've seen, it looks similar to path traversal because actually used the same way you would use path traversal. You can use that to go down the stack. It is important to learn stuff like this because once you understand the basics, you can understand how to attack it, because everything uses some type of code. Everything's written in code and everything is being exploited similarly. So the same concepts apply. This has been our demo. I'm Raniel.
I'm Duran.
And if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this one. Till the next time.
Have fun.